this live martial arts staff spinning video, I'm going to show you how to spin your martial arts staff. You can have a long staff or a shorter staff, doesn't really matter the length. You can start with a stick, a broomstick, a mop handle, anything like that. But you're going to hold it in the middle so that it balances on your hand. The weight of the staff is going to be balanced here in the middle. Close your hand, you're going to turn it from side to side to warm everything up and to start to build power in your grip. You need strong forearms, strong elbows, strong shoulders when you are learning how to spin with your martial arts staff. You're just going to go side to side first. You're going to do this for about 30 seconds in one hand. To take it in the other hand, you just put pinky to pinky, palms up, and then the same thing, find the center of the weight of the staff so that it's balanced, and then just turn it side to side for another 30 seconds. And if you have a heavy staff, this staff is hickory, so it's a little heavier. You're gonna go a little bit slower at first so you don't pull anything in your elbow or in your forearm. It's a super light staff, you can go as fast as you want. After you do that for 30 seconds, you're gonna do the same move in the first hand. Again, pinky to pinky, palms up, just practice taking it that way. But bring your hand to the side of your body and do that in this plane of motion so that you start to activate the muscles on the back and the side of the shoulder. That's gonna help when we start to go above the head and behind the back. You're just turning it side to side. 30 seconds later, put in the other hand, out to the side. You'll feel this right away in your shoulders. This is one of the best ways to improve your shoulder strength and shoulder health. This is gonna improve all the circulation that's in there, but also activate the muscles that give you a lot of stability and strength. It also helps with your posture when you start to mess around with these staffs. Now you're gonna put it back in the first hand, and one more time doing the same motion. I'm gonna bend down so you can see it. Just gonna go overhead, keep the other hand up if you want to, make a good habit. Always fight with your hand up, whether you're fighting with sticks, knives, nunchucks, whatever, or open hand. Get in the habit of keeping the hand up. 30 seconds here, taking the other hand, same thing. And this again is gonna activate different muscles in your shoulder, making you stronger. Now my elbow's a little bit bent so you can see it. Go lower, there we go. But you wanna try to keep your elbow straight. The more you bend your elbow, the greater chance you have of whacking yourself in the head. If you don't wanna hit yourself in the head, don't bend the elbow when you go overhead. Hey Garen, it's good to see you. Now we're gonna take that same turn, but we're gonna do it once in each hand going to the side. Hola. Going side to side. Starting to speed it up. Now you're just practicing the hamstrings for later when we start to do all the fancy moves. It's all based on this. So we're gonna do this right away in your warm up. This is also gonna turn the staff more around your wrist, building more power in that forearm, more power in your grip. Once you do this 30 seconds, keep your stomach up and in, put it over the head, and just practice on all, and you're doing the exact same thing as this. Pinky, pinky, palm up, out, out. Over the head, it's the same exact motion. Now you're going overhead. You want to get to this skill right away. Now the next motion, we're going to start to carve a sideways figure eight with your thumb. This is called the infinity spin because you're creating the infinity symbol and the spin doesn't stop. We also call this an endless spin. And all it is a circle here, leading with your thumb, and a circle here on the outside leading with your thumb. So you put it together, get your figure eight, pull your stomach up and in, abs tight. Your right foot is forward when your right hand is in the front. By stepping forward, it makes your body smaller. If you don't step forward, you have to go wider. So we're gonna put that body or that foot forward and move your stick around your body. Now, as you're doing this, look at my hand. It's not opening. That means I'm not doing this. Don't do that. If you run into something, you're gonna lose your stick, and they're gonna pick it up, and gonna hit you with it. Don't lose your stick, don't lose your staff. Going side to side. When you take it in the other hand, pinky to pinky, palm up. Switch your feet, stomach up and in, abs tight, tuck your chin, breathe through the nose. Other hand up. Keep your hand closed. Left foot forward with the left hand forward. And now you're gonna go back to your right hand And just like when we were doing this on the side, you're gonna do your figure 8 to the front and the back of your body. And again, it's just 2 circles. It's a circle here, leading with your thumb, and a circle back, leading with your thumb. So circle back, front, circle back. After 20 seconds, put it in the other hand. Hand goes all the way extended, side to side, stomach up and in, abs tight. Try to practice these every day, just a little bit, 30 seconds per move. It'll add up to like 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day, or 10 minutes every other day. After a period of 6 months, you'll be a master of the basics. There won't be any skill you can't learn because you have such a strong foundation. And you don't have to overdo it. Do a little bit at a time, and that compounds. Just like when you invest your money, when you get your first job, and they offer you a 401k with a match, or an IRA, or whatever it is. Always take it. Put your money in the market. Don't look at it. 30 years later, you've got a couple $1,000,000 bucks. In theory. That happens to so many people. You just want to do the work. All right, now, after you've done that, we're going to go back into your first hand. That was my right hand. Hey, Ron, it's good to see you. Yeah, Ron said when he was a kid, using the collie sticks, it's easier to do the figure 8s. We lose some flexibility, mobility in the wrists, but I promise you, Ron, it comes back if you slow it down and you give yourself some grace. You haven't done it in a while. You're gonna not be so great until you are. So I'm leading with the pinky and I'm pulling it backward. This is a great motion to do with those collie sticks. These are reverse strikes. So it's the same thing here. Before we were going forward. Now we're pulling it in reverse. Back to right hand forward, right foot forward. Stomach up and in, abs tight. Other hand up, suck your chin down. Breathe through the nose, out through the mouth. 30 seconds later, taking the other hand across the body. This is your right hand. The left hand reaches across to grab it in the reverse. Pulling it out, up. 2 days ago, I was on the basketball court with my son. He called me every name he could get away with. He was so mad. He starts to shoot. We're playing basketball. He can't make a shot, can't make a shot. My shots are going in. He's 11. He's, Dad, why this is not fair? I stink, I suck. And I said, you're right, you do suck because you haven't practiced and you didn't earn the skill. Don't just believe that you should have the skill without paying the price. That's one of the problems with the generation I work with, the youngest generation now. It's what I see more than anything. It's bizarre, but it's a real phenomenon. Everybody I talk to works with young people. It's the darn video games and it's the stupid phones. They see other people doing it. Now I'm gonna go back to the right hand and I'm gonna pull it in reverse. And they just assume that when they pick up the basketball or the football or the baseball or the hockey stick or the martial arts staff, they should be able to do it because the guy on the camera did it. Hey, Michael, it's good to see you. But you have to pay the price of practice. Pay the price of dropping your stick and picking it up again. Pay the price of smacking yourself in the head. Pay the price of hitting yourself in the shin or in the knee. Pay the price of looking lame and sucking. And you're gonna suck until you don't suck as much. And then you're gonna suck even less. And then you're not gonna suck at all. And then you're gonna be a little good. And then you're gonna be a little bit better. But before you know it, when you don't quit, if you keep your ego out of the way, you're gonna be a master. You'll be better than anybody else because you started off and you allowed yourself to suck. So 2 days ago, I forced him, I made him. We stayed out there an hour and a half. And I said, you pulled this trigger. We're gonna ride the bullet to the mark. You're gonna keep going again and again. And you're not gonna be good today, but you're gonna practice it. Hey, Ron, thank you. And then we played today. Every one of his shots, nothing but net. And it's just the way the brain works. You suck on Monday. When you pick it up again on Wednesday, your brain has had a time to rest. You carved new neural pathways in your brain from all this complex moves. It heals almost like a scar. And then 2-3 days later, you pick it up again and you're better. But you gotta allow yourself to pay the price. And he was so proud of himself and all of the nasty, negative, mean things he said to me when I wouldn't let him quit were in the past. And he got it. And I said, next time, do it complain and whine half as much. You can still complain and whine. But eventually, stop complaining, stop whining. If you want something, pay the price. All right, those are our figure 8 spins. Now we're gonna do the figure 8 spin, and on the opposite side of the body, this is the right hand, I'm going to the forward spin. I'm gonna bring it over to my left palm up, pinky takes it, switch the feet, figure 8 spin, come over to the right side, right hand behind the left takes it. Left hand behind the right, right behind the left. And then you can kind of walk in place. I always loved to do this when I had big martial arts schools. I had a big room, one of my first martial arts schools, 4,000 square feet. And I would jog, have my students running behind me. We're all running back and forth, going forward, going backward, forward. And what happens is you get really good fast because you get that heart rate up, get the blood pumping, you get the oxygen in the brain. Now you learn everything faster. Plus, when you fight, you're gonna be moving your feet. That's where all your speed comes from. But again, you gotta pay the price, you gotta earn it. Now we're gonna reverse it, pulling back. Now the transfer, when you take it to the other hand, this time, your left hand goes across the body to take it on the opposite side. So the right hand, it's gonna be on the right side, that you take it with the left. And here's the key. If you just pull it here and try to take it before you turn your wrist up, it won't work. You'll try to take it here. So turn it up, take it in front of the opposite hand. Ready, start to move the feet a little bit. I've always found that this reverse spin is just simply faster than the forward spin. Go for your run, go for your jog, or just do it in place. Eventually, you're gonna take it all the way around the body in different positions. So let's talk about going behind the back. With your hand to the side, this is your right hand on the right side, you're gonna go all the way down until your thumb is pointing up again. So your hand behind your back will go, simple as that. Once your hand is up, your other hand's gonna come with the thumb, same thing, going up. You don't have to stick your thumb up, but that's the orientation of your hand. Hand open will slide between your butt and your stick. The other hand pops out, and then you bring it out. Same thing, turn it up, turn it out. I'm gonna turn around so you can see it. Super simple. What you'll find, if you haven't done this for a while, or you haven't ever done it, you might not have great flexibility yet back there. This will burn the shoulders a little bit, but it's gonna improve your flexibility a lot. Now that's cool, being able to bring it back there and then you whip it around and you do some finger rolls and a wrist roll and whatever. But it's even cooler when you bring it back up over your head and behind the back, over the head. It's just the kind of a cool combination. If you ever watched Star Wars, when they had the Darth Maul character, the live action movie, I guess they call it. Ray Park was the actor, martial artist, who played Darth Maul. And he did this move with his double-bladed lightsaber. Now, I would assume that if that was even a real thing, and they're not, because it's a movie weapon, he'd probably slice himself up. But you can do it with a stick and be fine. So you're gonna go over your head. This is the thing we warmed up with. Same move. I do this, take the hand, turn the thumb up, pull it out, turn it, palm to palm, or palms up, pinky to pinky, pull it out. Now this is when people hit themselves in the calf usually, or the knee, depending on how long your staff is and how heavy it is. And it's because you're coming down with a spin. The key is, once you turn your hand out, once you take it, turn it out, and then just drop the arm, but don't spin it. Spin it once you clear the plane of your hip, then turn it up, and the same thing going up. Pull it out, but don't spin it or, ow. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, that one was a little hard. You're gonna hit yourself in the head. If you do, rub it, put some dirt on it, keep going. But you can go back and over the head. Once you've done this a little bit, change positions or change directions. There it goes. Now, it's the first time we talked about it in this video, but what you do when you drop it is you pick it up and keep going, because who cares? Hey, Silent Walks, it's good to see you. I am well. It's getting hot here now in South Florida. It's supposed to be like 95 this week. Today it's beautiful, but it's still kind of warm here in the garage. Oh, Ron asked what keeps the stick from walking around or away from the hand in the middle. I'm going to show you just a simple illustration using a wrist roll. See how many, it took like, what, 3 rotations before I went from the middle to the end? I'll show you again. It'll take even less now. And I'm out here. So what's happening is, what you're going to do is when you start to do wrist rolls or whatever else you're doing, and you'll be able to keep it in the middle, but what you can see, it's right here. When it comes here, I'm letting it slide. And that's almost instinctive. That'll become instinctive after a while. You won't even think about doing it. But there's that balance point where the staff balances on its own. When you start to lose it, that's when it's going to fall. That's when you allow your hand to kind of slide. So you're literally, and then in all the other spins, when you're going, if I went from one hand to the next, it's always going to be in the middle, but you start to do other kinds of spins behind your back, and then just little by little, your hand will just make these small, tiny little adjustments on your own. But that's what it is. There's no other trick to it than that. You have to allow it to move. That's that proprioception piece of your brain, where you get a good feel for the balance point of your staff, and then you learn how to keep it in your hand. So I hope that answered the question, but that's about it. Your hand will start to slide along it. And till then, you're gonna drop it, you'll be frustrated, but you'll get it pretty fast. Let's talk about that wrist roll, because this is one of the skills I'd like you to learn as a beginner, because it can be so useful. And all I'm doing here is holding it in the middle, and as I'm turning my pinky up or the palm away from me, I'm opening the hand and allowing it to then come and balance on the back of the hand. Yeah, Silent Walk says this is great for coordination. It sure is. And here's where I would slide to regain the center, right? So if I just came here, there I am again, long side, short side. I don't want that, so I let it kind of slide. So you bring it through, and then you bring it back. That's the pinky side. When you come back up, there's the thumb side, palm facing in. The hand opens. I always say use your other hand to kind of hold it there if you need to. Especially at the beginning, if you're dropping it a lot, assist. Use this other hand to assist, to teach your hand how to do the move. And then before you know it, you won't need it. But don't expect it in the first lesson. Maybe the third lesson, maybe the fifth lesson, maybe the third week. But you'll get it if you don't quit. And again, you don't have to do hours and hours, do 10 minutes. And allow yourself to be frustrated. It's that frustration and pushing through it that carves the neural pathways in your brain that then heal up, that give you the new skill, and you will have the skill. Most people don't get the skill because they quit too soon. Almost everybody quits everything too soon. Almost everybody. And you know that's not everybody, because you got the Michael Jordans of the world. You have the, Danica Patrick's head just popped in my head, her name, the female race car driver. And I'm not a super huge Danica Patrick fan. I'm not against her, but I think she was one of the first women IndyCar drivers. There's no way she could have gotten there if she did not quit. Point is, you can develop incredible skill if you don't quit, if you don't give up, no matter what the sport or activity is. Albert Einstein always said, I wasn't the smartest guy, and he wasn't, but by IQ or anything. He said, I was never the smartest person. I just stayed with the problem longer. That means he never quit. Everybody else got 2 feet away from the diamonds, as you've seen the picture, you know, and they didn't know as they quit. And then the next guy comes behind him, takes a couple shovel scoops, and whoa, he's lucky. No, the other guy just quit. Don't give up. All right, so you're going side to side. Once you get that wrist roll down, the way you use it is in the figure 8. You can throw that in as you spin. Always practice both hands evenly. Whatever you can do with the right, do with the left. You do with the left, do with your right. And it's just a pinky side wrist roll and a thumb side wrist roll. And you can even do hand transfers, throw one in, go behind the back, whip it up over your head, bring it back down, do a wrist roll, do some finger rolls. And we'll get to the finger roll, but I want to show you the palm spin. Now the palm spin can be a way to pause up over your head, like you're doing behind your back, whip it up over your head, and then you want to show off, and you let it spin in your palm. All you're doing is just opening your palm as you start to turn it out and allow it to do a full rotation or two over your head. So practice that a little bit. Just turn it when you're ready. Make sure you can do it in both directions, turning out, turning in, and just think about feeding a horse an apple or a sugar cube. If you put your fingers up, he's gonna bite your fingers. So you always get your fingers flat so his gentle little tongue and lips can smack it up. If not, you get those big giant horse teeth chomping at your fingers. You don't want to get bit by a horse. So practice that, go back to your behind your back, over the head, add a couple palm spins, go into your figure 8, do some wrist rolls, and then let's add in the finger roll. And again, as a beginner, I want you to learn finger rolls for 2 reasons. One, it's a really useful skill. You start throwing finger rolls in when you're doing your bow spins or your martial arts staff spins. This is a Joe. You can do it with it. You can do it with a broomstick. It's just a way to break up the monotony. If all you do is this, that's cool. But then if you can add what I call a stall, that means I keep it over here for a few turns, then it looks kind of cool, and then you whip it up over your head. It's just like a connecting move. And none of these are self-defense moves, by the way. Silent walk asks standard length. This is a Joe. The Joe is the medium-sized staff. Joe implies that it's a staff. Bow implies that it's a staff. So if you say bow staff, you're saying staff staff. If you say Joe staff, you're saying staff staff. But who cares? Unless you have an exchange student from Okinawa who also is a martial artist. Or if you have like a super nerd friend who went to a traditional Kobudo class and they're gonna put their finger in your face. You can't say bow staff, it says staff staff. Then you might wanna change it, but I've met some of those, but I don't care. And this is an amalgamation of many different styles of staff. There's Chinese staff in here, there's Korean staff in here, there's Filipino staff in here, and there's Okinawan Japanese staff all here. And there's a little bit of goofy Star Wars double-bladed lightsaber in here. So we have a little bit of everything. Hey, Philly Fathead, Semper Fi. Bow staff is 72 inches. Traditionally, a bow is 72 inches. You can have any size length you want. I am 73 inches tall. So mine comes just about to the top of my head, just a little bit below that. Now, when I stand on the mats, my big body sinks into the mat, so it looks a little bit taller, but that's about what it is. And you want a staff that's about as tall as you are if you want to have the bow's length. But this is one of my favorite lengths. This is a self-defense move. This is a self-defense move. That's a self-defense move. You can do all that with the Joe, and I find it as a self-defense tool to be a lot more effective than a bow. Bow is still my favorite staff though. It's just that in this garage with the garage door openers and the beach stuff on the wall, I keep whacking everything, which is why I practice inside with my Joe. And that's the nice thing about having both. Now, I did put a link to a martial arts plier. These are very expensive. These are self-defense staffs. If you want those, email me. I'll let you know where I get them. But if you want just a regular martial arts staff, it's a lot less expensive, a good entry level, then check the link in the description. All right, so finger rolls. I said there were two reasons. One is it's a good transition move. Two is that it fires your forearm muscles, your extensors and flexors. Extension and flexion are the two purposes of the muscles in the forearm. Think of bicep, pulling your arm in, and tricep, pushing your hand out. Yeah, Silent Walk says he likes to use a shorter one on when you go for a walk. It's great. It's the same length as a hiking stick, or like a longer walking stick. And you can even use a walking stick. Learn how to defend yourself with the Joe staff, or the Joe, and then you'll be able to fight with your trekking poles for self-defense. So going through the fingers opens and closes them, opens and closes with some resistance. It's like resistance training, working the gym, so that your muscles stay in balance. And what I've found from my experience, I'd never get the carpal tunnel or the tennis elbow, the tinnitus. I don't get that anymore since I added in weekly finger rolls. And my grip, your grip is gonna be so much stronger. And if you're self-defense, it's grabbing, it's blocking, that's striking, all that from a stronger grip. And they keep saying, for those of you who want to live longer, well, I think that's all of us, we want to live longer well, we want to live well as we live longer. Grip strength. They say grip strength is the number one determinator, if that's a word, determining factor of health and longevity as we age. They measure your grip strength. You do this, you're gonna have wicked strong grip. So you're opening and closing your hand. And this is called a continuous finger roll. You can see it goes in opposite directions. You can go in both directions in the same hand if you were to slow it down. And this is great brain training. This is good for mental training as we age. We call it brain elasticity or plasticity. That's also a marker of good health as you get older. And if you're younger, it just makes you smarter. It makes you solve math problems better, faster. It allows you to be less rigid in your thinking so that you can see outside the box or think outside the box so that you don't overreact, so that you have less depression, less emotional tightness and intolerance. Having mental flexibility goes along with physical flexibility. That's why staying flexible is so important. This will help with all that. Hey, G. Carlton, it's good to see you. G. Carlton says, watch after work. I can't wait to see you after work. I'm gonna be doing another one tonight, by the way. I think we're gonna do a different self-defense tool. And I have a bunch of questions. If you wanted to ask me self-defense questions, email them to me, pasquinelli@hotmail.com or pasquinelli@gmail.com. Always works, both of them do. Thank you. Silent Walk says, always great training videos. But I'm gonna start to do one of those once a week, I hope. Just a quick Q&A, answer the questions that I get during the week and see if there's any value for everybody else. Might be thinking some of the same things. Grabbing with your thumb, and that changes the sometimes I'll say something and you'll say, oh, wait a minute, did you think about it this way? And I'll say, I didn't, and then I'll learn from you. So I like doing the question and answer for that reason too. Now this is a 3-finger roll, which is very similar to the wrist roll in that you are balancing on the back of these 3 fingers, and then you're taking it with your thumb. And that's one, so the continuous is good for just building that hand strength and dexterity. The 3-finger spin, catching with the thumb, puts it back into your hand so you can go back into your spin. So you're spinning, throw it into the 3 fingers, go back into your hand, 3 fingers, and it looks like this. So you go through the fingers, and you get to the pinky and the ring finger, you grab it with the thumb, and that allows you to take it again and hit them with it if you need to for self-defense. So 3-finger roll into catching with your thumb. Now there's one last one. I usually do this at the beginning, but I forgot. And these are all the beginner moves that if you do these, you can build all your other skills off of. This is the butterfly spin. We call it a butterfly because there's your butterfly. There are your wings. There's the antenna, or antennae. How are you supposed to say that? You can go in both directions. And if you open your hands, now you've got a skip bow or skip catch. Put them back together, wrist to wrist. And what you're doing is you're turning your bottom hand palm up, your top hand slides in, thumb to thumb. You push it up so that it lays there between the thumb and the first finger. Bottom hand gets out of the way. Top hand turns until it can't turn any longer. Bottom hand turns under and out, away from you. There's a cramp on my forearm. Grab it. That's how I know I didn't have enough water today. Either that or it's, the garage is like 120 degrees now. We're at that time of the year. It's gonna get hotter too. I had the door open before I came out here and it felt like just a heater pressing into the house. And the air's not on inside, it's just a little bit cooler, but it's so hot outside. It's one thing about living here in South Florida, the great heat warm you up. So you just let it roll. And again, go in the opposite direction. See, I go all the way out, my hand stays out of the way, and then I turn it to take it. Palms facing each other or away from each other, however you want to picture that. And again, when you open your hands, now you're doing your skip catch. All right, those are the basic skills. Practice those. Let me know. Send me the email if you want to participate in the Q&A for self-defense, or it can be any martial arts weapon. I had the pleasure yesterday at my other job. The kids had a talent show in one of the grades, and there was a little girl, she needed to break her board, and I got to hold for her. Got to tie her belt on for her. I haven't done that in a while. I've tied literally thousands and thousands of belts and held tens of thousands of boards over the years. And I realized I missed it. And then the kids are up there doing their basic routines. And I'm like, I miss doing that. I miss not doing it as much as teaching it. So I'm gonna have to get the martial arts school open. We'll have to move out of the garage dojo into a regular dojo. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you. And let me know what else you wanna work on, because we're just gonna do as many of these as we can. And when you like, subscribe, join the channel, or share, and especially when you guys make comments in the comment section. I ask you to do that because that's what helps the channel grow. And YouTube has changed the algorithm so that they're favoring shorts. And someone asked me this the other day, the way, my channel is monetized. So I make very little money. I make a tiny bit, but it's enough to pay for a little bit of my expenses. Thanks, Philly Fathead. But shorts, I can have 1 million views on a short. I have 1 million views on a short, and you'll make like $60 for those 1 million views. The same number of views on one of these long format will pay my car payment for a couple of months. So it's night and day. But YouTube, they don't really care about the creators. They care about their, competing with TikTok, I think. They are pushing the shorts, and that's pushing everything else down. So I'm watching my channel just go, whoo. And it's not just me, I'm not complaining. It's happening to all of us in the industry. But when you comment and you like and subscribe and share, that does allow me to continue to do this. So I appreciate when you do that. And I'll see you guys tonight. We'll be back in probably a few